Hey there, and thank you so much for joining me for another video. My name is Erinino, and today I'm going to show you how to paint this quick, loose floral with white ink accents. It's a great painting to do if you want to relax or maybe kickstart your painting mojo if you're suffering from painter's block. So let's just jump in and get started. So to start, I'll just run through my materials for you. Today I am actually using a cellulose paper. I'm not using a cotton paper. I'm painting in my Strathmore visual journal, and I will show you. It comes with like a kind of cute little faux leather cover. This you're supposed to take off, but I wanted to leave it on so I could just show you what it was. It's cold pressed paper. It's 140 pound, and it is 5.5 by 8.5. So the reason I'm using a non-cotton paper is because this is just going to be a really quick, fast abstract, and I'm not too concerned about the paper staying wet for any length of time. I also have my Van Gogh paints, a jar of water, and I've grabbed 3 brushes. I've grabbed 2 of my Princeton snaps, one in a size 12 round and one in a size 2 round. And I also have on hand my Princeton Neptune in a size 8 round. You will also need a white gel pen. I use the Uniball Signo gel pen. I'm actually quite happy with these. I ordered them off of Amazon because of the reviews they got, and it came in a set of 3, so I've got silver, black, and white, and I will put a link to these in the description box for you if you are interested. So, oh, and I also have my heat tool on hand just to speed things up if I need to. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with some quinacridone rose, and we're just going to do a light wash of a really really loose flower. Just like that. You can even pick up some of that pigment. Just get some highlights in there. Okay, we're not concerned about any particular shape. We'll go in and do a purple flower, and they can touch and bleed if you want. So just really loose, kind of fluffy-ish petals. And I'm going to take more of that pigment and just tap it right at the very center and let that bleed out. Same with our pink one. Like that. And maybe we'll do another purple flower. I'm going to need more paint mixed up. Okay, again, just with a light wash. Maybe I'll do one kind of on its side, maybe. Like that. That might have a little too much pigment on it, so I'm just going to pick some of it up. And then go in with some deeper pigment, tap it at the base of these inside petals, or these petals at the back. Tap some in here. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll do another pink one down here. Can touch that purple flower there. Again, pick some of that up just to Make sure we have some highlights on our petals. Go in and get some deeper pigment, tap it in towards the center. You can come out to the edge if you want as well. Whatever, no rules on abstract. Just like that. And then I'll do maybe a little purple kind of bud coming out the side here, kind of hanging down. So I'm going to bring that facing down and tap some in the base. So you can see it's drying kind of wonky there, and that's okay because it doesn't matter. So while it's still, while some of it's still wet, I'll actually re-wet some of this towards the center, not too much. And I'm going to go into my just straight black and tap in some black in the center of these, and it's going to bleed, and that's all good because I want it to just be really organic and do its own thing. And I can even touch the base of this little bud, just like that. Maybe I'll do another little pink one just up here, kind of hiding behind these guys, just for another hit of pink up here. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Actually, I'm not going to let it, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do the center black on that one. And I'm going to dry this with my heat tool. Okay, so this is dried off enough. I'm going to go in with my number 12 and go into my Payne's Gray. And I'm going to add some leaves, just a few leaves. Whoops, that's not, there we go. And I'm just doing these really quick and not thinking too much about them. Again, because we're going to keep this abstract. I don't know if it's even abstract at this point. Maybe it's just kind of loose. I will add a stem to this bud hanging down though, just to give it, you know, make it more believable. And a little kind of leaf coming off that. Maybe add a leaf in here. Whoops, I almost went for my purple, which was not what I wanted to do. So I'm just doing quick kind of strokes, not making these, you know, realistic. So I'm just adding leaves where I think this needs a little something. Put some more of my gray. Just tap this a little bit. Let's heavy these ones up a bit. That one kind of went a little wonky, didn't it? That's okay. It's all good. Maybe I'll just bring some leaves out here. And maybe a couple at the bottom. I don't want to overdo it with the leaves, but it's not quite as balanced as I would like. So maybe one up here. And I think that ought to do it. Probably need something there, but I don't want to, you know, put it in and then I can't go back. So I'll leave it for now. Then I'm going to switch to my size 8 round. This holds quite a bit of water, and I'm just going to kind of glaze and do another layer on top of the flowers. So it's a little more pigmented than what we were using before, but because we're going on top, it's not like totally saturated, but because we're going on top, it will deepen up these previous petals. Yeah, petals. I got it right and I didn't say leaves. So just doing all the pink ones first. And then once you have that down, you can even just rinse off your brush, tap it off on your paper towel, and just blend some of these out if you want. Just like that. So I'm not putting too much thought into this. I'm just kind of slapping paint down and seeing what we come up with. So now I'll do the same thing to the purple. Finally, I have enough purple mixed. Yay. Add some more on this hanging bud as well. And I'll do the same thing, clean off my brush and just kind of drag some of these out. We'll add some more to this. Then I'll also go back into the Payne's Gray. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll take my number 2 for the Payne's Gray and just use that to add some, well, a little too much water on my brush there. Just use this to add some extra detail to the leaves. And I'm just using a smaller brush so I don't risk overdoing this. and I don't have a lot of water on this brush. It's a size 2, so it doesn't hold a lot of water. And I'm just putting some lines down. Then you can go back and just clean off that brush and blend out any of these lines, or some of them, or all of them, whatever you like, or none of them. If you like the harsh edge, you can just leave it. I like a bit of both, just like that. Oh, I think I can stand to add a little something to this one here. There we go. Now I'm going to go into the black again, just the straight black, and just heavy up the stamens on the insides of these. Like so. Then I'll clean off my brush, and I'm going to go back to just the straight flower color, so the quinacridone rose here. Heavily pigmented, not a lot of water. There we go. And I'm just going to just put some lines in at the very center, and it's going to hit that black, and that'll bleed out and add some darkness to the centers. If it's too much, you can always go in and mop it up with your brush, but I just wanted the flowers a little darker towards the center, just so when we put our white down, it's got enough contrast. Okay, now I'm going to go and clean off my brush. Actually, I'm going to go to the number 2. My number 2 brush, and I'm just going to start dragging some of this out. And the reason why I want the number 2 is I would just want to have more control on how much paint I drag out. I don't want just like a big, thick, extended line of the paint. And if you get too much paint, if you're picking up too much paint, just clean your brush off, tap it off on your paper towel, and then go back in. Okay, so this is really rough. And it's not looking very pretty, but that's okay. It's supposed to be kind of rough and abstract, and it will all come together, hopefully, when we get the white gel pen on. So now I'll just do the same thing with the purple. Go in towards the centers. The base of this one, and then our bud over there. And again, with the number 2, just start dragging some of that out. Not thinking about it too much, just let it do whatever. Okay, so I think that's enough. Now I'm going to dry it with my heat tool just to speed things up a bit. So I'm just going to start, and everything's just going to be really kind of squiggly, okay? So I'm just going to start with a bit on the centers and the stamens. Maybe do a couple of dots in there like that. Okay, and I'm not doing, you know, nice even curves. I'm just making it all squiggly. Now I'm going to start going into the flowers. So I'm just going to make a note about these gel pens. Don't push down on them too hard. If you push down on them too hard, the ball doesn't move smoothly. So let the ball do its work and just move the pencil. Move the pen where you want it. Okay, so these lines are squiggly. You can do even like loops in there if you want. You know, it doesn't have to be like a single line. You can do squiggles at the ends of the petals. I just don't want to overdo it right from the start. You can do multiple lines or leave it as singles. And we'll do this guy over here. And I'm just going to continue on. I'll speed this up though, so you can just kind of see the process. Okay, I think that should be enough. I don't want to overdo it. So there you go. There is our finished loose floral with white ink accents. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. And if you give it a try and you're on Instagram, please be sure to share and tag me so I can have a look. That's it for today, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.